Greetings. Welcome to Growth Hacking Show, where we bring founders, CEOs, serial entrepreneurs, trainers, coaches, and community creators who are really creating an impact. They are going where they come and share their experiences, what to do, how to grow, and what not to do, so that way you can learn from their mistakes, so you don't have to actually pay for those mistakes. Pay it forward, so we all grow together. In that regard, I have to, in case you don't know me, my name is Mohammed Siddique. I'm the host of a Growth Hacking Show and the co-author of New Success Secrets, available on Amazon. For that purpose, from Atlanta, I have to go virtually through my network to Australia, in a small city. They call it a regional city, where my special guest today is actually creating, don't consider her from a small city, she is creating a global impact, connecting the world face to face, from online to offline, so that way we can actually carry on the conversation and face to face. That's where the real relationships happen the old way. I'm talking about LinkedIn Local. You know what? She is the co-founder of LinkedIn Local and a community creator and LinkedIn trainer and a coach and a real, I would say, master connector. She is on the mission to connect the whole LinkedIn community at the local level, so we can have a meaningful conversation, quote unquote, belly to belly, and build a relationship and friendship that hopefully will last for a lot longer than where we are right now. In that case, please join me to give a warm welcome to my very special guest, the co-founder of LinkedIn Local, Anna McAfee. Anna, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Anna, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to create the LinkedIn Local, while LinkedIn is already 500 million plus people already?
So where I was and who I was surrounded by, I was in a small regional city in Australia, and I put I guess connections online. I wasn't seeing a lot of people face to face because I was working from home. I had two small children, and so I was just really coming back from maternity leave, and so I was not getting face-to-face connection. Yet I was surrounded by all this incredibly inspiring content on LinkedIn, and a few conversations I was having with some local people, we decided to just get together and organize to catch up. So I put up a post on LinkedIn in May last year, May 2017, and said, I'm going to host a LinkedIn Local in Coffs Harbour, who wants to come? And I think quite crucially, I put on it a hashtag, the hashtag LinkedIn Local. Hashtags, I now know, I didn't really think about it so much at the time, but I do now know that it encourages participation, and I think it really inspires a movement. And that was exactly what happened. And within a few hours of putting up the post, I had Alexandra Galvez in London, Eric Eklund in Brussels, and very shortly after, Manu Goswami he was in New York at the time, saying, this is wonderful, I'm going to do the same thing where I am. What a great idea. And from then, I believe a movement was born, and slowly but surely we had more and more people wanting to join. And so up to now, we're at around 82 countries. We're in about 450 cities or 450 locations. And it's incredible to see the growth and the inspiration that has happened just simply on the idea of a simple hashtag. And its core, I guess the core idea is about getting people face to face, getting back to basics. We're so connected online, but we don't connect so much virtually. And there's so much, I think, mental health with this, and the changing nature of the workforce, in that we are freelancing, working from home. We're not necessarily connecting with those around us. And I think the core idea that people are inspired by is to bring people back together face to face or belly to belly, and to help each other grow and share.
Thank you so much. So your one idea, once you execute and people jump on that board, so that when your train is so big, they're all over the world now. So you have friends all over the world, including non-major cities.
I have incredible conversations with some incredible countries. I had a message last night from my friend through LinkedIn Local, Lucy, who's in Kigali in Rwanda, and I recently had meetups in Port Moresby, in Papua New Guinea, in Jerusalem, some really incredible places that have been so inspired by this idea. And you know, a lot of French-speaking Africa, whom I can't even communicate with because they don't speak English. I have to have some of our French team actually speak to them. But, and they're the ones that really need this and really want this. So it's incredible to see and incredible to watch and be a part of.
And I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for sharing this. So Anna, based on your experience of this many meetups happening, LinkedIn local, almost in any given day or maybe any given week or any given month. So what are the top 3 mistakes to avoid when we go for networking, like from online to offline in face-to-face meeting?
In terms of things to avoid, I know this from personal experience, not just from managing the movement, but just from networking. This movement is really about giving. It's a tribe of givers, our hosts of volunteers. You know, we're a not-for-profit movement, and I am very much a giver myself. The first thing I learned that I would say to anybody to avoid is to learn to recognize takers, because there will be many takers throughout any entrepreneurial journey, and I as a giver really learned, I think, the hard way how to identify. Adam Grant's book Give and Take is really good for this, but it really talks about identifying, you know, the people that are takers and understand how they're motivated, and really learning to not spend your time with those people. And that to me is a big one. Secondly, I think the other thing to avoid, and I know our hosts, myself included, have seen this a lot, is really to avoid other people's opinions. There's going to be a lot of people who say, well, how do I go to one of these events and get up and tell everybody what I do? Or can I leave my business cards here on the table? And that's not what we're about. And there's always going to be people that it's just not for them. But I think in any business, and as any entrepreneur will say, is nobody's trying to build a business to appeal to absolutely everybody. There's no brand in the world that appeals to absolutely everybody. So you need to, I think, just understand that other people's opinions don't matter. As long as there's enough people that want to share the experience with you and the community that you're creating, then I think that's where the value really is. The third one, I again, with these meetups, is I hear this a lot, and also knowing from where this has come from, is to understand that a sense of place isn't really important. Some people say to me, oh, well, I'm in a small city, it won't work. Or there's cities with 5 million people in them, like Atlanta, and there's small towns, and I can't compete, or I just can't get people to come to these events. It doesn't matter if only 15 to 20 people come. I mean, I've held probably 15 to 16 LinkedIn locals now, and they've all been about between 20 and 30 people. They're not big. They don't need to be big, in my opinion. They can be small. You can get a lot of value from those smaller groups. If anything, I think you can actually gain more. So it's really understanding that this can work anywhere if it's executed correctly. It doesn't, and you don't need to be in a certain place or have a certain amount of experience. You can do it with the right intention and the right mindset.
Wonderful. It's not about the quantity, it's about the quality conversation, so meaningful and quality conversation. Very well said. Thank you so much. So, and what are the top 3 success secrets to kind of connect locally from online to offline?
Look, I would say the big one is curiosity. You need to be a curious person, and with that, you need to be open-minded as well. And that's not only within yourself. And I learnt this from. You need to have a curiosity about what other people do, what drives other people. When you go and meet other people, it's not about you trying to sell to them. It's really about how you can help them. Be curious within yourself and what you can learn from those people, and be open-minded to the opportunities that can come your way, or the different experiences, or the different opinions. assuming that they're complementary to what you're doing. So curiosity and open-mindedness, I think, is a big one. As well, look, one of the secrets to success, I think, with the online to offline movement is to understand that just because things have always been done a certain way when it comes to networking doesn't mean they should continue being done a certain way. And this within any kind of business, I think, is important, because there's a lot of things wrong with traditional networking models. And there's a lot of people very much put off about it. To a lot of people, networking has become a bad word because they just have not had great experiences. And so I think trying to do things the way they've always been done isn't necessarily how they should continue. If anything, we need to break a mold and we need to find new ways of doing things. And I think LinkedIn Local has really touched on a lot of that, and that's why it has remained so popular. I think as well, it's about trusting timing too. Trust your own experience, trust yourself, trust that you can do this. Go there with an intention to help others, to grow yourself, to grow your network, and really build valuable relationships, and just trust that you can add value to that situation. Because even if you don't have a lot of experience or you don't know about a specific industries, you can go and learn, and just by asking questions, you can still add a lot of value and share something at these events.
Wonderful. That's amazing. So how LinkedIn locally is growing right now after a year?
So
what are you doing to grow it locally? Yeah.
Sorry, we have a website. It's LinkedIn Local, so we don't break any trademark rules with LinkedIn. I do have regular discussions with LinkedIn, so they are very well aware of the movement. We're just obviously obviously we are independent from them, and we want people to recognize that. But we are, these numbers are a bit out of date. Our counter stopped working, but we do have the website where people can go. They can find events in their area. They can learn how to become a host. We have a mentoring process whereby we have mentors all throughout the world who help mentor new hosts regionally, and get them connected to those in their area in order to get some local experience as well. Perhaps it's within your own state or within your own country, and to really share those experiences. I think as well, over time, we have a Slack community of hosts that a lot of ideas are shared, a lot of questions get asked, and so we're really trying to build a lot of resources. We've got a lot of those coming out in December, and they are really going to, I think, add a lot of value. Like things like the question of what have been really successful topics. So we've put together those. We've put together a page for videos for the movement. So I think creating a resource center, really curating the best of what LinkedIn Local is to help others learn from, and then to help them obviously grow their own groups and communities in a very authentic way.
Wonderful. How Growth Hacking Show community can support you in a LinkedIn Local?
Look, go along to events that are in your area. Find them on the website. If there aren't any there, I would also, on the website, just check LinkedIn. You can do a hashtag search on LinkedIn Local and then the city name, just in case. Sometimes we don't always get them registered on the website just because LinkedIn are coming out with an events area. So some are starting to be listed there as well. So check LinkedIn as well as our website. Go along to an event. You can reach out to me if you've got any questions, or reach out to one of our mentors regionally. But I think supporting these events is going to support you and your business effectively. If you value community, then reach out to me. One of my drivers is to really help other communities grow in the way that we have done. And that's where my focus is or has shifted to, as well as LinkedIn Local is working on a business to support that. So I think understanding community and valuing community is important to everybody. So find these events, support these events, start your own if you want to, and reach out to me if you have any questions.
Wonderful, wonderful. As we are about to wrap up, what would you say as a final word, Anna?
Look, I think In turn to what I would like to say to everybody, I guess, is trust the timing of where you are and how things can quickly change. 18 months ago, LinkedIn Local didn't exist. Well, 19 months ago, it didn't exist. And now it's in 82 countries, and it's touched a lot of people globally. Now, had you have asked me that at the start, I wouldn't have had any inkling that this is what could have happened. I don't think anybody did. It found the right collaborators, I think, at the start, and the 4 co-founders, and the growth of a lot of people beyond that. So, form collaborations, be really curious, be very open-minded as to where things can go and where it can take you, because it's certainly something that I've learned is never to underestimate the power of a movement about people and being involved in that. And that's what a really valuable community is.
Thank you. Today's word is always be curious. When you meet someone, go with an open mind and be curious about that person instead of try to understand the other. Listen, that's the key. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Anna, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Show community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia, wishing you good luck, good sales. And I do have a podcast again with an amazing guest. Until then, all best wishes.